looking for a little redemption here. Yesterday was the first day we ran Machina on a planted pigeon out of a releaser or a launcher here on our property, and I thought it was going to go really well, and I thought I had thought it out pretty well, and it didn't go well, and I hadn't thought it out probably as well as I should have. So you know, what do you do at that point? Kind of just pulled the pin and salvaged what we could and got out of it, but not a lot gained, if anything. I don't think we went backwards that far, but I learned probably, I shouldn't say we're not a lot gained, I learned quite a bit. Like, I think my setup was pretty poor. I think the cameras got in the way. I think I had too many things going on. I think I was trying to fool around with collar, GPS, a launcher, a gun. I had all these things on my mind. I didn't use them. I didn't even use half of them because I didn't even get that far. But so the thing for me was there needs to be some clarity in my mind of doing something like this. And then I think the other thing is to think about the true purpose of what we're doing. Why am I doing it? And so I thought about it. I tried to do it, kind of replicate it like a realistic thing for hunting for her. Well, that's not, I'm not going to be able to do that. Wild birds are going to do that for her. So for me, this drill, this session thing is for me. It's not for her. Will she learn how to handle a planted pigeon and a releaser? Yeah. What does that mean? Not much to her as a hunting dog. So will it help us later on with technical training and whoa training? Yep, we'll have to do it then, and she'll probably get pretty good at it then because we'll do it more repetitiously. But for now, I'm really trying to gain, what does it look like on her collar, the GPS? Remember, I'm totally new. I've never put a collar on a dog before, so I'm not using it as a training collar. I'm using it as a GPS, but I want to start to understand how to read that thing, what it looks like. The bell, I'm hunting her with this bell for the first time, or relatively first time early on. I want to better understand what it sounds like versus what it looks like, so I can start putting those pieces together. The bird part of it, she's seen pigeons in traps now 3 times prior to this. So the first time she really ran into them and failed miserably. The second time she did pretty good. The third time she did actually really well. We ran, I shouldn't say that, this is the 4th time, because the first time when she ran into the pigeon launchers, we reset it, and she did better the second time about an hour and a half later. That was with Jerry Coulter. So I had everything I've done with the pigeons has been like under the tutelage of Jerry Coulter. He's the one that handled this. All I had to do was walk behind the dog and shoot the gun. So I didn't have a collar on her. I didn't have a bell on her. I don't know that we need it. So the other thing is that we did here different is I did not put these birds in the woods. I put these birds in the field. I actually am kind of like replicating or trying to replicate what we did at Jerry's. And what's interesting is I got the same results yesterday that we did when we did it at Jerry's for the first time. It was not good. So let's see if she gets better at it. Now the difference is we're setting it up differently today than we did yesterday. You can tell she's very excited. She loves this. This is a lot of fun for her. So I'm not going to talk to the cameras. I got enough shit to focus on. I got this, I got this, I got this. I got her. I talked with Ben and Logan before we started filming. I said, we can't just wander the 3 of us in on this. So Ben knows exactly where he's going to go and stand. He knows where he's going to go and stand. I planted 2 birds. My reasoning is, if it doesn't go good on the first, I want to have a second to go to. Yesterday I had 1 out and it went terrible, and I kind of got nervous and launched the bird and said, let's get out of here. Well, I probably could have handled that a little bit differently. So we've got 2 birds out intentionally. If it goes well on the first, I hope it goes good on the second. If it goes like crap on the first, we got the second to fall back on to try to figure out how to do it better before we end it. The other thing is, the mistake I made is I've got 2 launchers off of this, and 1 and 2, up is 1, down is 2. I don't remember which one is which. So I am going to have to be remembering, if I push the button and it doesn't go, I got to switch it and push it. So not ideal, but I don't want to go over there and fool around with that bird. I planted these birds about an hour ago. Yesterday I did it about a half hour, which I think putting them out early enough to let some scent build up is important. But I just had time to think about it, and I'm not that worried about what happened yesterday. We're gonna set it up more similar to how we train, which I take her here, I line her up, I start her. We're gonna do it, we've done this, but she's not found birds out here. So I think that's the interesting part with her is she's getting good at running. She needs to get good at running and looking for something. And so understanding that there's something out there to be found, I think will have a lot to do with that improvement. So I'm done talking for this one. I'm just gonna go through and we might talk at the end. Heel. Whoa. 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 Heel. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good. Heel. Right here. Whoa. You can tell she's just real excited and not listening really well. And I don't want that either. Heel. Whoa. Whoa. Good. Here. 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 Whoa. Whoa. Okay. You can see she blew right by that one. She caught scent of it and then she started pushing in on it. So I pushed the button because that was just, all she was gonna do is run up in on it again. Okay, Ben, go to your second spot. Here, 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 here. Yeah, da, 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 da. I left my whistle. Just gonna let her go. Better get there, Ben. Good, right there. That's an old scent of the launcher. So maybe she would have pointed it. She's got to figure out there's no bird there. Maybe she would have pointed it. I got nervous. I thought she was going to blow right into it. So she's going to have to figure out that there's no bird there. Logan, you got to get on her just to show. I'm on her. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Good. She's got to start to understand when there is a bird or isn't a bird. So she might have done a little better there than I had given her credit for, but I wasn't going to let it happen like it did yesterday. But you can see already her mindset's changed. She's hunting a little bit now. I'll give her a little bit more chance on this one. The bird is right up in here on this corner. So I want her to, Ben, can you see this corner? Get right to where the gravel is. So she just kind of ran through that cone. Just ran past it. The bird's right in that cover. So, much better. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I don't know if I would say that was much better. I feel like she probably would have done the same thing on the first one. She almost jumped on this trap before she caught the wind of it. So, but when she did, she held it nice. I walked in, she got a little twitchy there, and that's when I popped that bird. Again, my timing is, I'm trying to get a feel for my timing. Good girl. But so, for people that are watching this, and I don't know, I might even talk to the guys about how we link these things together, but I feel like it's probably the way it should go. It should be really shitty at times. And then here, good girl. It should look horrible. Here, come here. Come on, don't you blow me off. Here. Come on. Here. Makina, here. Now here's where she knows she's got to come back. Good. Here. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Here. Right here. Here. She knows she's got to come back. She doesn't want to. She knows better. I've gotten to the point where I just kind of know this little routine. Be patient. Give her about a minute or two. She'll realize it's the best decision to make is to go back. But back to the sequence here. Like, yesterday really bugged me. The first day I went out by Jerry, and she ran and literally stepped on and bumped into the traps, or the release. We were using releasers at the time, we weren't using launchers. And she would run right into them. She didn't know what to do. And we did 3 of them like that in a row. 1, 2, 3. And I was deflated. I mean, we didn't have a camera with. I didn't want a camera with. I was with Jerry. Just wanted to focus on what I had to try to figure out. And she did really poorly. And then Jerry, I'm sure, saw that. I talked with him about it afterwards, because then he said, let's put a couple more out. Like, we put the dog up. It was hot. She got put up for a while. He said, why don't we do it again? Give her a drink, put her up, we'll do it again. So I think he could see it. Wasn't necessarily, he wasn't disappointed in the dog, I was. So we reset it, and she did really well. She pointed him, not perfectly, but she did really well, way better. And so one of the things he said was, that's how quickly they'll improve. So just be patient, no problem. You got to give her opportunities, new fields, new things, new everything. So then we came back 2 weeks later, and we planted birds, And the first time out, we did 3. She did really well. Boom, 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 all 3 of them. It's just, I couldn't have asked for her to do it any better. That was the second time. It was 2 weeks later. Again, I just want to make the point of, I don't think that it had anything to do with the dog. It had everything to do with me. And as far as like the objective, and it built my confidence. It's not going to help. This isn't going to help her find birds. You can see she can find them when she bumps into them. She recognizes it. Nature takes over. Instinct takes over. The pointing takes over. That was great. I actually think she probably would have done it there, because that way she caught wind of it, and you guys would probably be able to catch it on video, but she caught wind of it. She started working into it. I think she was at that point looking to try to pinpoint the bird. I read it as, you should have stopped. There's enough scent there. You should have stopped. As she was working in, based off of what she did yesterday by running right in on the bird, I pushed the button and said, get it out of there. So did she learn to not get so close to the bird? Maybe. Like that might have been, but nature's going to teach her that. I'm going to take her and run her on grouse this weekend. So that's where she'll learn, I think, that part. What I had to see was that, and you know what, if that were the only bird out, I'd have been really disappointed again, put my dog up and sulked the rest of the day. But I'm glad I had the second bird. I'm glad I screwed it up yesterday and realized just have a second one in case. The second one in case, as she came around and just about jumped on it, she didn't know the bird was there and the wind was going this way. There's no way she could smell it. She couldn't smell it until she got this side of it. Now she ran past it 2 times, 3 times here. Scenting conditions, I don't know what they are. Does she have a good nose? Yes, I think she does. Will it get better? Yeah, I think it'll start to make sense for her. But she got around, she stopped, she held. Big confidence builder for me, not so much for her. Walk in, flush the bird, shoot at the bird, or blank, and be done. So the reason I think this series, I hope, is bringing value to some people is because I'm not a professional bird dog trainer. And you can watch this shit on YouTube as much as you want. I've watched a million times. I've watched this hundreds of times where they plant a bird, the dog points it, they pop it, they shoot. I know what it's supposed to look like. It doesn't work that way all the time. And it's not the same watching it as doing it and syncing and touching the buttons and holding this and paying attention to that and doing this and forgetting the whistle and so I think my hope is that this brings value to you to recognize, like, well, we're still going to get there. Like we could do this. We could have done this a couple times. I could have done this a couple times with her. And then I could have said, okay, guys, now I'm ready. Get the cameras. And we could have planted a bird there, planted a bird here, planted a bird there. We'd come out here, she'd have worked through and pointed. I'd have flushed it, shot at it. Good, next, next, next. See, it's that easy. And I would have looked just like the other ones on TV, and you guys would have said, he's just like this guy, and that gal. I'm not. I've never done it before. So for me to do it for the first time and not look very good is just the way you're going to have to deal with it. So, and I'm going to have to deal with it. And I'm going to have to think about it, the mistakes I make and get better with them. Hopefully get better at it the next time, set it up better. It's all about setting it up for her. She'll do just fine. I don't have an issue with her. I got issues with myself and how I feel comfortable doing this. And right now, it's going to just take some repetition to get comfortable doing it. And I'm not going to do it that often because I look at it and I go, oh, how come you're doing it? To make myself feel better or to make her a better bird dog? I do think I'll have to get better at this because I'm going to end up doing some controlled technical training stuff, and I'll need this for that. So for that alone, it's worth the practice. It's certainly not hurting her. It's just not helping her in the big picture of like certain things. It is helping her understand, well, maybe I do have to pay attention at times when we're going out. I do think very quickly she's going to learn this is a training ground. And so we're going to develop the skills here in this little controlled gym. And then we'll take it out into the big world and play the big game out there. But it's all got to start, I think, in small controlled environments, and that's what this is. So I gotta figure out how to operate in this area. So all in all, I look at it and I go, the last 2 days, extremely successful. They just didn't look that good, but I'll call it a lot of success because I gained quite a bit, and I'm smiling about it still and laughing about it still, and yesterday I wasn't, and I didn't let it bother me that much, but boy, I thought about it. And so, you know, when something bugs you and is irking you and you're struggling with it, I don't think you can just sweep it under and pretend it didn't happen. I don't think it should ruin the rest of your day or, you know, make you a real spoiled attitude, but at the same time, use that to motivate yourself to figure out how to do it a little bit better the next time or set it up differently. If it doesn't work, how come? What can you change? Change something, try it. If it doesn't work, how come? Change something, try it. If you change something and try it again and it works, ta-da, now build off that. So we're gonna do that here. We'll build off of this lesson. So we'll be getting some more pigeons because mine are not homing. So my buddy Chris will help us with that. Good session to build off of going forward and going into a weekend. I feel real strong about it.